Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about King Deshret's resurrection.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madman will disappear and that King Deshret will return to this land. Hey, it's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academy. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. Delavar also said that once King Deshret returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under King
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more.
Got it! At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm...
The people here really like King Deshret, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Where is this radical person you...
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village. What about...
No, not at all. We wouldn't...
Sounds like you're not too close with the rat...
No, of course not.
I have many ways to stop you from talking. So you'd best just stay home, don't do anything, until I've gotten to the bottom of this.
Yes, got it.
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying. He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have
I heard that.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places. Very well.
Isak! I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there. Grandpa? Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa.
Quit following me.
Oh, this is where Grandpa... There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Please don't, but are you okay? Are you getting...
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't...
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tighnari saved the day.
So, you know
Huh? You know him
Yes. Now that I concentrate, I can also make out...
Wait, surely Tighnari...
No. No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tighnari's house? In the forest.
course, I know.
Here it is. Take a look right here. Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand from the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. The scent is quite faint, but still extant.
But who would come looking for Grandpa?
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent? Hey! What's wrong with liking—
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge.
No.
So, someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Still, are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars—
It's highly likely.
Please, you have to save my grandpa.
Sounds like we'd better help get him—
Let's head to Aru Village and inform.
Right. The darker fabric definitely looks a lot better.
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like it.
Oh, Dia's here!
You bet. So,
Reasonably.
I'll hate them.
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you.
Did you find out anything you... I see. So...
The resurrection of King Deshret? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. Not to mention making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to... It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been...
Makes sense.
So what should we do?
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two.
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader—
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Enger, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook. The whole lot of them are known around. These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in King Deshret. Way they see it, King Deshret's resurrection is their own. Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert.
Tia! You're amazing! You really know this place.
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every mora I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable—
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right—
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about the desert is unforgiving, so the way of life— Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that— I need to go around and ask some questions. Good, then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the mad scholars have—
All right, sounds like a plan. Well, here we are again.
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we—
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block? It was only after I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel is Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate.
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Hey, Dia.
No, not at all. Besides, we're here to procure information.
Yep, we gotta.
Shh! Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. Our mission started the moment we arrived. Let's go check out the tavern. Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean you don't see any?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You're here for a drink too?
Zaki.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land? Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia.
We've had drinks together a few times. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side.
Yeah. Have you seen Engerd?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested.
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time.
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together?
Yes, how considerate of you.
Too slow. Squall and Fury. Quit following me. Too slow.
Witness the power of Gugwa. Know my sword.
Oz, reveal thyself. Everyone hold hands. I see everything.
Rain outlines your fate.
Where do you think you're?
Time to act.
By royal decree.
How amusing. Where do you think you're going?
Wings of darkness. Come, sever night from day.
I'll be back. Behold! Quit following me.
we there yet?
Yep, this is the place.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on, a wild stab in the dark.
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have... Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also...
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. I'm a new leaving
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't ya? Who do you think you are? You really...
So you and Delavar have been part...
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the... But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert...
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Engar. You're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers of King Deshret despise the most.
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand why King Deshret is greater than the Dendro Archon.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because...
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their mind.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
A new punching bag.
Hey! The Temple of Wisdom!
Ring cutter!
Take that!
You dare to gaze upon me?
Impossible!
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a merc. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing it. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you thought, right?
You lied in the village because you figured that we'd...
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart, but... Okay, that should be...
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru village?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking...
Oh, but instead of catching them...
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch...
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher...
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Engar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Engar, the wide-eyed butcher. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So...
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down. That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one—
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses.
Wow, what a genius idea!
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook.
So, that thing you were
About
how mercenary...
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro...
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of every... I've begun to realize that the sages... But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's... Looks like we're done with... This should be all of them.
All right. I'll be in touch.
Candace, do you need it?
Candace will be okay on her own. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If any...
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass them?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots,
You heard the question. Now answer me. You heard the question.
Squall and Fury. Upon the gale. Upon the gale.
Unnecessary.
Behold!
Everyone hold hands.
Squall and Fury. The wind rises.
Unnecessary. Squall and Fury.
Hey, Dia!
Right on time. We'll know any moment.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never...
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say. Never...
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty...
Well, Paimon thinks you're great, too.
Really? Thanks for...
Oh, Sino's here. And he's
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
to help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogations.
Oh, you mean you taught...
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Candace, where... Whoa, you look furious.
Do I?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show its...
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm...
Yes. Please, don't beat us anymore.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death yourselves. Yet you do not hesitate to place... The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than...
Mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may all be desert dwellers. But there is one thing that I understand better than you. The people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but a war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that...
We understand. I'll tell you everything I know.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in King Deshret's resurrection. They give their lives.
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again, and...
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread the word about King Deshret's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll...
That's one.
Huh?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then...
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery... You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secret. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu.
Smooth.
Okay.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery... Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village... It strikes me now that this secret...
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radical... They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're...
Not the academia again.
Just as I thought, but what could they want with the village keeper?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change... Regardless, our top...
You're right.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try...
Yes.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside.
All right.
Let's meet back here once Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting.
You were gone for ages! And now you're suddenly sitting here musing to your... Hey, what's with the...
You never think things through before asking questions.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname! There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy!
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru Village.
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by... Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
Alhaitham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village.
Yeah, you're a...
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do.
Really? Paimon...
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that...
Huh? Right here in the...
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But, before...
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the...
You mean, some of them will...
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, remember what Candace said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believe... Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been... The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace...
Those eyes.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by...
Right. You were asking about the I mean...
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make her...
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, the young...
Then, what?
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary...
I'll pass on this. You said that she is afraid of me.
We're on it!
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier...
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you...
Huh? What do you mean?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to... Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be... But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we...
I want to trust... My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest...
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay.
The fact is that I'm... Only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in King Deshret.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that...
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes... Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life, and then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't...
You can tell them.
All right. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound. It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear. But because we're in the middle of a desert, you would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for...
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, let's go! I see everything. Oz, reveal thyself.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Take it and have fun. Quit following me.
Sounds good to me.
Hey,
Rain outlines your fate. Let me weep.
by royal decree.
Know your place. Too slow.
I wonder who this gift could be from. Oh, is this the place? It's in terrible shape. And there's... monsters! Watch out!
Behold!
Oz, reveal thyself.
Witness the power of Gugwa.
As you wish, main Fräulein.
The wind rises. Search forth.
Hey,
That's far enough.
make yourselves at home. By royal decree.
Swarm Fury.
No, my sword. Rim cutter.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
You're dead.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected. Super strong bandits? Or monsters? He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take a look.
We haven't found
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. What are you reading? Let Paimon...
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural position, which is the positional propensity of an entity in natural...
So...
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya! How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey! Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. Paimon knows... And anyway, it's not Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated. Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
there it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But there's the...
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into... Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep
Rain outlines your fate.
Squall and Fury. Behold!
I see everything.
Squall and Fury. Bow your head.
Witness the power of Gugwa. Time to act.
The wind rises. As you wish, mein Fräulein.
Close enough.
Hey! Sharing my knowledge! Oz, right
The wind rises.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Squall and Fury.
By royal decree!
Behold!
Look! There's someone over there! Good idea! Let's approach him
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. But also, why is
Didn't expect to see him here.
he... You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at...
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind of...
No. And Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach... Leaving that question aside for the moment, him looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that...
Loaded with...
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry. The symptoms are identical.
Huh?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh! Now that you mention it, they're acting the same way!
Correct. The Academia is behind all. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the Academia spread a false rumor of King Deshret's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. The role of the village keepers. These rumors, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. The role of the village keepers. Based in Aru mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the Academia. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the Academia. All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto King Deshret's followers. Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since King Deshret's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something, even if complications arise. The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to...
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, too. But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aru Village in the first place? Why does it want...
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. If you can't find someone, you have no way of...
Resource?
One possibility is that the information in their brains
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is...
So, the human brain... Nope, nah,
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar... Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge... Or perhaps, his curiosity got the better of him.
Paimon's a little confused. Can they just...
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they... However, I can't help but wonder. What do they seek to... The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge. I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to...
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your...
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects. If this is the direction of academic progress, then the Academia may as well...
Sounds like you're really against...
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. This matter needs to be corrected.
Wait! Didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into... The divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the Academia.
Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out. Uniqueness is also an asset.
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more He won't last long if we leave him here. We'll work out our next step after.
Swollen Fury! The wind rises.
Everyone hold hands.
Let me read you a verse. No, my soul.
The insubordinate odds reveal.
Behold!
Hey.
Too slow. Swollen Fury! Quit following me.
We're back.
You must be tired. You should
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless...
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar hospital served...
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village, since Divine Cant and knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on...
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the
Huh? Are our friendships that...
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words.
It is simply a logical inference.
So what you're saying is... interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Al-Haytham.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
You're saying that the Academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination.
It predicted my every move.
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think. However...
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after... Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves...
They escaped.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be...
Whoa, you bounced back.
There is always an opportunity for safety.
Oh, so that's how it is! If the Academia is trying to avoid Sino... Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go.
You want to go too?
I want to find Grandpa.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Remember that Paimon feels like we're missing...
Too slow.
So, where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks...
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay. So...
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed device. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way. Let's split up and search the area.
Is this what we're searching for?
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand? They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry. Your grandpa's gonna be...
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means
We should be able to catch up.
one more thing. Given that the device had... I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone full.
But running on sand is so tiring!
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Of course it is!
places. Over there. Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never...
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it. That's our deal.
Dia? Why would you? Dia!
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
Well, look who's here.
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the... Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself. I have the means and...
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all...
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting King Deshret.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone.
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of King Deshret. Whether I live by the...
It's not too late yet. The village mad scholars aren't gonna bring King Deshret back to life.
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life. Even if the chance of success is 1 in a million, we must be willing to give everything.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Eremites? Your Eremites, which you've...
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. With these scholars in our custody, will stomp the Academia's forces and...
Ridiculous. Think about it. The Academia controls the entirety of Sumer. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these 2 men. They're also against the Academia.
They look more like pawns of the Academia to me. Why would I listen to any filthy traitors? Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed King...
It's impossible to communicate. Perhaps we should...
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the Academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded to... These scholars were exiled from the Academia. I, on the other hand...
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade...
Precisely. Any wise
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars. Perhaps even...
Think you can talk me over?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a...
You are the scribe. What do you have against...
Not all desert dwellers believe in King Deshret. And the same applies to the Academia.
You Academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never...
You know you're making a dangerous decision.
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word, but what about me?
We've known each other for years.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my... Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the Academia, you...
An arm from the Flame Mane. You've piqued my... What if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village...
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate!
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. 1 arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Raman?
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this
That's not for you to decide.
Do it! Stop!
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off... You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and...
Phew. I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your minds? What if...
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb...
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can if it came down to it, you would not lose to them either.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more with... Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there.
As you wish.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is...
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up.
I suppose wisdom is also a form of sin.
The wind rises.
You're all here so early.
Looks like we have everyone here. Isak, are you sure you want to come with us?
I'll watch from a safe distance. Dia, I want to be there to bring Grandpa home.
Okay, let's go then.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today.
Fine.
outlines your fate. By royal decree,
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Everyone hold hands.
Search for it. Unsightly insects.
witness the power of Gua. Know my sword. Body and mind.
Hey!
You can't run from death.
Take it and have fun.
Rain outlines your...
I see everything.
Know my sword.
Oz, reveal.
Squall and Fury. The wind rises.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Let me weave you a verse.
We've only just begun. As you wish, main Fräulein.
Oh, goodness gracious.
You can't run!
Looks like I behold.
Went too far.
The wind rises. Squall and Fury. The wind rises. Take it and have fun. Behold! The wind rises.
fury.
Huh. They got here before us.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept by 5 minutes and held everyone up?
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. Although, you brought fewer people than I imagined.
Bring him over.
Grandpa! Why is there only...
Raman, I've always thought of you as a man of his word.
It's a one-for-one exchange. And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with the Dendro Archon people is already a huge compromise.
You stay right there!
Playmate! What do you think you're doing?
Grandpa!
Don't you see this blade here? You coward! Why are your hands shaking? Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
Grandpa! Paimon's dizzy.
This day's going just...
The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. The village keeper protected us. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said, it may well... The Dendro Archon.
Grandpa? Grandpa?
Hey, look around you.
Did there used to be a temple here?
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, it exposed these The symbols on the gate belong to King Deshret's civilization. This structure must be ancient. It could have been an underground palace in the distant past.
Oh, a miracle. Praise King...
What's he doing here? And his...
They must have fallen down here with us. Most of them seem in really bad shape. Except for him. He got...
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict. Our exalted lord...
He's not actually gonna go in there.
As it happens, I want to take a look.
What are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's power protects us from harm, and the two major deities are vying to showcase their power to us. It would be a shame not...
Paimon thought you weren't interested in God.
Indeed. In my view, gods are just a higher form of living. New discoveries are always worth investigating. Whether they have...
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
I'll just let them lay here. King Deshret will take...
Come on, don't keep me waiting.
As per our contract.
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
What's our objective?